What's good, everybody? This is CreamSpinachYo, and this is episode 4 of my Modern Warfare 3 Road to Commander series. And I will keep saying this for the beginning of every episode, but like I said in the first episode, this series is not really about the gameplay, because we all know I'm not that good at this game, but rather, we're going to be talking about topics that are not necessarily related to math and science. This is kind of just to give the channel a more all-around, and not more all-around effect in terms of the topics, and so we'll see what happens. Of course, there will be math and science topics, but again, the reason why I can't play games and do commentary at the same time because I can't really multitask well when I'm playing this game. So you're gonna get something a little different in terms of Road to Commander. And today, we're gonna be talking about my favorite television, favorite TV shows, and I love watching TV. If you think I play video games a lot, but I probably watch a good 15 hours, maybe even 20 hours of TV a week, and you know it's just consistently going all the time in my life, and I absolutely love it. And so, and I like to talk about my favorite TV shows. And a caveat for this is that it's my own opinion. Chances are you're going to disagree with me because I know at least a lot of my friends, and hell, even Gendothermic disagrees with my rankings for my favorite television shows. But I'm trying to go with, you know, this is what I really do enjoy, and hopefully you'll understand that, and I won't get a bunch of hate in the comments. But we'll see what happens. Now, today I think we're going to split the TV into two videos, the non-comedy television and the comedy television, because I think those are really different in terms of their styling and the writing, so I don't think it's fair to compare you know, non-comedy television with comedy television. So today, we're going to start off with the non-comedy television, and I'm just going to give you my opinions of what I think are my top shows of all time. And of course, I'm only 23, so there's a lot of shows I haven't watched. If you have a recommendation for me, feel free to leave it in the comments, or if you think I'm just an idiot spouting a bunch of crap about how idiotic and dumb my rankings are, feel free to let me know too. It's very hard to offend me, so feel free to just let it rip. So I'm going to start off with number 1, the top of the list from my television shows, and that's The Wire. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh god, another idiot who praises The Wire all crazy and crazy and crazy, and it's just ridiculous, and he won't back down from arguing about it. And no, that's not the case. Surely it's an arguable placement, but you know, most people consider it the best fictional drama ever made, and I definitely agree with that placement. Now, what makes this show amazing is that the use of character morality is unbelievably great, and the reason and why this works is because, you know, what they have to do is they have over 200 characters. Yeah, that's not a typo. That's not me messing up in my speech. There are literally over 200 characters. Go on Wikipedia, count them all, because I have, and there are over 200 characters. I am not bullshitting you on that. And every character in the show is simultaneously good and bad. And this, you can't really call it a trick, but this style leads it to an incredible sense of realism the show's noted for. And basically, the caveat for the show is that it surrounds the Baltimore Police Department and the Baltimore drug game, and you know, it just every season, there's 5 seasons. Every season portrays a different facet of Baltimore, and good God, it is just an unbelievably great show. The show is extremely slow to start off, though. It takes about 8 or 9 episodes to really get into it, and on top of that, the writing, you'll never see a show with better writing. I guarantee that point. The writing in this show is unbelievable. It is so well done. It is hard to follow. I don't know, like me, I grew up in a very poor area, like not like the one depicted in the show, but very similar. And you know, I understand all that lingo and Ebonic style of speaking. So that might turn some people off, but if you stick with it, it's well worth it. I definitely recommend it. And then my second ranking, my number 2 is Breaking Bad, and good God, I mean, The Wire and Breaking Bad are two shows that are unbelievably excellent. This show, the Breaking Bad, is incredible pacing. Like, holy shit! Like this, like it locks you in at the first episode, and it just does not let go. Unlike The Wire, like The Wire has great writing, but the acting isn't so great. This show has excellent acting. Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul, who are Walt and Jesse, they are, oh my god, they are so fucking good at what they do, and just them alone, it's worth the watching. Now, this story is absolutely excellent. However, there are some parts of the show that make it really hard to give a shit about these characters. All right, and an example of this is Walter's son, Walt Jr., and Skyler. Right, throughout the beginning of the show, everyone hates Skyler. Oh my god! Like, if you go on the forums, there's so much misogynistic and hateful things to say about her. And recently she does eventually start redeeming herself, but Walt Jr., I mean, it's so fucking hard to care about that guy, right? I mean, he's paraplegic, right? So he has crutches, and he's difficult walking, but what the purpose he serves in the show is really to just kind of shed some new light on a situation, and good god, I mean, it's tough to do that for 4 seasons and have someone care about him. If they got, there are many episodes in which he's not in, and you won't realize that until you're like, oh, hey, look, he's not in the show. He's not in the episode. Like, oh, look at that. And so, what makes this show amazing is that this show portrays the idea that once you cross this line of being good to being bad, that gray line of morality, there's no fucking way you're going to be able to get back. And that's what this show is so great at portraying. Now, if you aren't familiar with the show, basically, Walt, portrayed by Bryan Cranston, is a chem teacher who gets cancer, and he wants to leave his family something behind before he dies. And he has a PhD in chemistry, and he's teaching in a high school, so he's very overqualified for this position. So what does he do? He gets with one of his former students, Aaron Paul, who is known as Jesse in the show, and he starts making meth and selling it so he can get money to leave that behind to his family. Now, I know you're thinking, like, oh, but this TV, right? This chemistry stuff, it's wrong. No, you are wrong. They actually have, Gendothermic actually went to a conference in which she met the person who does all the chemistry fact-checking on the show. It's amazing, right? Now, of course, they're not going to give you the formula for meth. I mean, that's they won't do that ever. But the way they show people using the beakers and the round-bottom flasks and all this distillation stuff, that's correct. And so, wow, we are only 2 shows in, and that's it. Now, stick with this show. This show starts off with a bang. It doesn't let go. Breaking Bad is a great show, and of course, I have 2 more plus some extras for the next episode. So this is gonna be great. So feel free to subscribe to the channel, like the video. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at CreamSpinachYo and add me on PSN, CreamSpinachYo. And thanks for listening. And more importantly, have a great day.